Alright guys, I've had a lot of people asking to see what my build actually is, so I'll make a quick video to show it off. This is the way I normally look. I quite like the way my character looks. It's 10 out of 10 in the fashion styles department in my opinion. Yeah, looking quite swagged there. As for my stats, those are my stats. It is a buff build. So even though the stats might not look like they're catered towards anything in particular, this build is very tanky and has amazing damage outputs, but it all comes down to the player's individual skill to make it work. Even though it says I've only got 1875 HP, with my buffs active I actually have 2250 HP. But we'll get into that a little bit later. As for my equipment, I usually run either a Grand Lance plus 10 imbued with dark, or a washing pole plus 10 imbued with dark. The shield is King's Shield plus 5, which I think is one of the best shields in the game when it comes to mid-size shields. The Archdrake Chime, Felstad's Helm, Throne Defender Armor, and Smelter Demon Gloves and Leggings. The rings I usually run are a Clonanthy Ring, Third Dragon Ring, Life Ring, and the Old Sun Ring. Now a lot of you are probably wondering, why am I running the Old Sun Ring, blah blah blah, it's a scrub ring. Not quite. There are certain situations right now in PvP where this ring could save your life. In particular if somebody is running a infinite fist build, because right now there's a build going around where the person is power stancing dual cestus and they can stun lock you to death, and the Old Sun Ring is a way to get out of that, as well as it has its other uses as well. And obviously I've got my throwing knife for any time I might need to last hit someone. Let's have a look. Stats wise, when it comes to resistances, those are my resistances unbuff. Now it probably doesn't look too amazing. However, when casting Great Magic Barrier... Oh, what am I doing? I need to reset the bonfire quickly. Okay, now, when casting Great Magic Barrier, my resistances are near enough doubled right now. As you can see, 460 magic, 537 fire, 452 lightning, and 488 in dark, which is quite nice. So yeah, the other spells I run besides Great Magic Barrier are Resonant Weapon. I'll talk about Resonant Weapon a little bit later. Resonant Flesh, which increases your max HP by 20%, and that's how I'm able to have 2250 health. Medium Heal as well. Now you're probably wondering why I've got Medium Heal when I can just use an Estus Flask. The reason I've got Medium Heal is because I do a lot of red invasions, and obviously if you're doing red invasions you can't use an Estus Flask. So this is one way of being able to heal while doing red invasions. Now Resonant Weapon will obviously buff your weapon, like so. So it'll give it a nice little buff. Now, I say little, it's not actually little at all. With the way scaling works in this game, if you have a weapon imbued with dark, like as you can see both my main weapons are imbued with dark, and you cast Resonant Weapon on it, because of the way the scaling works, you'll pump out pretty crazy damage. Like when I've got this weapon buffed, for example, most people I'll either 2 or 3 shots, or I'll 2-shot them and then they'll have like that much health left, and then most likely they'll try to roll out of the way. So you run after them, see what they do, and then just choo-choo train them in the back. Obviously if they've got full Havels or Smelter Demon gear and they've got Great Magic Barrier on, you'll need to put a little bit more work into it, but for the most part this build has crazy damage output as well as being very much tanky. What else is there to talk about? I think that's pretty much it. But yeah, with the way buffs work in this game, and spell buffs in particular, until they get nerfed at least, The best damage you're going to get out of a melee weapon is to have the minimum stats required to wield it. Buff it with whatever spell you want to buff it with. So obviously if you want to go dark, you want to buff it with dark and then cast resonant weapon on it. If you're a more faith type build, then you want to buff it with lightning and then use sunlight blade on it, and so on and so forth. Right now that is the best way to get damage out of melee weapons. So even if a weapon has like S scaling in dexterity, it's not going to really matter because of the way scaling works in this game. This will still out damage it. Which is a shame. Hopefully they'll fix that, because there's not much point in having like S like strength or S dexterity weapons in with the way scaling works. But yeah, that's my build. It's been working very well for me in PvP. Makes me very tanky while being able to do ridiculous damage. But yeah, a lot of you asked what my build is, and that's what it's like. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, feel free to either like or maybe even subscribe to the channel. If you check the description, I've also got a bunch of affiliate links. If you don't mind, you could also check those out. And I will be putting out a PvP video very soon, so look forward to that, as well as other normal content, my normal how-to videos as well. I should put another one out after this video actually. But yeah, until next time, take care people.